Okay, I just want to show off how amazing this board is with it just silk screened on with Sonic, and you got the legendary ring, and also there's a little Easter egg on the back I was reading about, so I was really excited. So you even have Sonic in mid-run on the back. Take a look at that. And you see the little ring spins around as you look at it. Pretty sick. And it also has this display port on the back, but I don't have a monitor for that just yet. Anyways, let's start with the RAM. It's typically where I start. Instruction manual to see which RAM slots to put into, because they only have 2 sticks of RAM, that it's kind of picky where it goes. But a lot of boards have it silk screened on here, and this one says this is A1, A2, B1, B2. And according to this, it goes in B2 and A2. So on this board, both sides actually open up. Most boards, only one side opens up. Like that. All right, let's install the RAM. Now, to figure out which slots the RAM goes in, you can read your instruction manual, or in this board specifically, it's silk screen right here, which 2 slots it goes into. Usually it's A2 and B2 first, these two. Like I said, I have DDR5, 6000 megahertz RAM. And you can only slot RAM in one way, so it's not fitting. It's probably in the wrong way. It makes a very satisfying click. So let's see here. Yep, so you know where the little notch is, that's where it's going to go. And then you get the satisfying click. Yeah, make sure you hear the clicks. That's how you know it's in. To get up here. Make sure to check it with your thumbs, and perfect, that's the RAM installed. Alright, now for the exciting part, we're going to slot in the actual CPU, the central processing unit. And for this build, I have an i7-13700 non-K. This is a not overclocked board, so it wouldn't make sense to buy a K-series board because they only overclock on the Z-series. Let's unbox this bad boy here. So what we got? Got some... Hey, we got a little Core i7 sticker I can put on the case when I'm done. And it actually comes with a stock cooler, but we won't be using that. There it is. It's actually a very well packaged stock cooler. It's actually pretty nice, actually. I didn't think it was this nice. Okay, here's the stock cooler by Intel. It looks like it even has RGB on it, or it's blue for Sonic, I don't know. But I will actually not be using this, even though this is actually pretty nice. I will be using the AG620 Black Premium cooler, because I hear these CPUs can get pretty hot. Okay, now for the most exciting part, we're going to put the CPU in. Now it can be a little hard to figure out which way to put the CPU in, but if you look in real close, there's a little triangle here, and that matches up with a triangle on this. There's a little triangle in this corner, so this knows this is the proper orientation for this. And it's got to pop this little arm. Oop, pops up. Lift this up. And that expands where the CPU pins go. Pick this up very carefully. Do not touch the bottom, and just slot it in. And it should just drop in nice and easy. Now, I've never built an Intel board before, but this part's going to be really cool. It actually pops out this little plastic piece. I didn't like how hard it was doing that. It's in. It's in right. That out. And there it is, the i7-13700 seated inside. Oh, they even put a triangle on the actual CPU itself, a really big one. So you have a big triangle here, triangle. You probably have a triangle on this too, but there's the Sonic branded cover. And now the big thing is installed is the CPU cooler. This is a behemoth. Alright, now I'm going to get started with the M.2 drives. I really like M.2 drives because it's really simple. You just plug it directly in the motherboard and there's no anything extra to plug in or slot in. Like I said, I'm going to be using a 2 terabyte SSD Gen 4 and a 1 terabyte SSD Gen 4. Usually I use the 1 terabyte for my boot drive and the 2 terabyte for storage, but I mean, you can do anything. Now I've pre-loosened some of these screws, but I'll just loosen them up all the way here in camera. You don't need any crazy tools for a computer, you really just need a screwdriver. Screwdriver and some snips. Still on. Alright, and there's your top one. Still on, wow. I should got it. This is apparently a very long screw. Okay, that's no way it's on now. Okay. Alright, you can see right there is the M.2 port. Now it looks like it already has a standoff in place, and this screw should be the one that secures it down. There's no extra screw I need. So to install an M.2, you sync up where this little notch is on here. You put it in about a 45-degree angle until it kind of clicks. Oops. So you push it in until it kind of clicks. There it goes. And then you just bend it down and screw it on. But that'll do this. And also, very important, you remove this thermal. It's like a thermal pad. You remove the little plastic on it. This is very important for proper thermal conductivity. Line up your screw holes, and that down, perfect. Let's tighten her down, and never over tighten anything on a computer. It just needs to be really just lightly snug. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. It's just that snug. This one holds it on. There it goes, threading in. Alright, and there's the M.2 heat shield done. Now I'll do the bottom one down here. Now there's actually 2 on here. Look at Sonic there mid-run. Perfect. This one, same thing. Whoop. Same thing. Also has tape to remove. Good. Okay. And now this one's actually going to need an M.2 screw to hold down. They're really annoying to put in. So just lightly get in there. And that is in. That's a 2 terabyte M.2. And I've taken the liberty of removing the thermal pad off this side only. Could have got a third one, but it didn't. There we go. That M.2 is installed and the thermal pad is touching it. Okay, now to apply the thermal paste. So now the Deep Cool does come with their own. Alright, we had switched around the orientation of the cooler because I want a direction of airflow like this from front to back. I feel that would give me the best cooling. Now to apply the thermal paste. So Deep Cool gives a little bit, and I have a little bit of Noctua thermal paste left from my other builds. You put a glob in the center, and then I put a couple little satellite globs. Glob there, and that technically would be enough, but I still want to put a little bit extra thermal paste because a little extra thermal paste doesn't hurt anybody, as long as it's not going crazy. So there, there, Perfect. This one, for this CPU cooler, we have to use the Intel bracket because this is an Intel-based processor. So it should be this bracket and this bag of parts. And that coincides with the instructions there. Alright, now I'm just going to install these little standoffs on it. And again, just make things slightly snug, doesn't have to be insane. I always do a cross pattern everything, right? Those VRM heat sinks. Okay, now according to the instructions, the bracket needs to be installed on the number 2 setting. See, it says 1, 2, 3 there. It needs to be installed in the number 2 setting. Alright, so after some digging and watching a YouTube video, I found out to move the studs for LGA 1700, you just do this. You just push pressure on them and pull them outwards. That's all you do. Alright, and with that, the CPU cooler is installed. I'm installing it in a kind of a pull-pull method, so it's going to pull air from the front, pull air through this one, and exhaust it out the back with the case fan. And that's everything installed. That's the CPU, the CPU cooler, the RAM, the M.2s, and that's really it. Now to work on the case. We're actually going to get the case ready now.